fair hearing. This is an important bill and we look forward to that work. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Honourable Annette King.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. First of all, can I commend the very good local member for Tasman for bringing this bill to the House. A member who works very hard in his constituency and is very close to the issues of concern in his electorate and has secured himself in the wonderful seat of West Coast for as long as he wishes to be there. But he is reluctant, I have to say, to bring this retrospective legislation to the House. And we all understand why, as politicians. We don't particularly like retrospective legislation, but every now and then there is a need for us to examine an issue and make a decision on it, and that's what's going to happen with this bill, the Tasman District Council Validation and Recovery of Certain Rates Bill. And I can assure Damien O'Connor that we will give his constituents who appear before the Select Committee a very good hearing. The Environment and Local Government Select Committee is very used to such matters in terms of dealing with local government and giving them a good hearing. And so, Mr O'Connor, your constituents, I'm sure the Chair will give plenty of time to express their views. Maybe we could even take the Select Committee over to Liger Bay or Tartar Beach. I think it will probably be very good to go where the locals are and really get amongst the grassroots, the sand, the sun, the beautiful scenery, a bit of kayaking and so on. But like Damien O'Connor, I am very familiar with this part of New Zealand, and it is a superb area. But there is a problem. And there is a problem which means that we need to validate specified rates that cannot otherwise be validated in the Tasman District Council area. We acknowledge that there are issues with the bill, and we will be looking to ensure that any changes we make are ones that are appropriate. I think if you look at the problem, it came to the Council attention. I think Damien O'Connor made a good point that the councillors themselves, in good faith, believed that they were doing the right thing. But a number of irregularities have occurred in the setting and the assessing of rates in the financial years 2003-04 to 2008-09 inclusive. And questions have been raised around the validity of those rates. Damien O'Connor did set out what they related to, things like a failure to resolve to set and assess rates in accordance with Section 23 of the Act, and that happened for a number of years, resolving to adopt rates before the Council had adopted their annual plan and funding impact statement, including a failure to state in accordance with Section 24 of the Act the financial year at which the rates had applied, that the rates were payable by instalments, and the dates by which the specified amounts were to be paid for some of the years, and also a failure to resolve to authorise the penalties that were to be added to the rates that were not paid by the due date. And so these irregularities can only be fixed by legislation in this Parliament. So this bill will go to the Select Committee. We will hear the reasons why. But I do have to say to Nikki Wagner, who raised at the end of her speech, how the better local government is going to ensure that this sort of thing doesn't happen. And perhaps I could point out that up until around 1992, Tasman was a district council that had a regional council that dealt with many of the issues that they're having to validate. But it was the former Minister of Local Government who pushed and fought to turn Tasman District Council into a unitary authority and to abolish abolish the district council, the regional council, that has led to a change in the way it operates. So perhaps we shouldn't be too sure about any local government changes that have been suggested by Nick Smith. I have to say I have some grave doubts about the changes that are coming about by better local government, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the future we're not back here passing legislation to fix up yet another Nick Smith mistake, including the removal of the 4 well-beings which councils up and down New Zealand oppose. So we will give it a good hearing, Mr Speaker, and ensure that what needs to be fixed can be fixed.
Jackie Dean.
National is supporting the Tasman District Council validation and recovery of